What is up, YouTube? So I bought these three boards and I thought I'd do a review on what I think about them. Totally unbiased. I bought all of these. Nobody has given me anything, so this is gonna be truth and factual. So I have the Blink Quatro all-wheel drive board. Then we have the Halo carbon fiber edition, and then the Koowheel Series 2. Now, I'm going to go over a few of the things that are different about these boards, what I like and what I don't like. There's some things that are similar and some things that, give and take. So let's go on with, let's go for the Halo. Here's the first. Halo board, carbon fiber edition. You can see it is carbon fiber, but the problem with it is that it is so rigid. When you're riding this and there's cracks in the sidewalk, you feel every crack and it feels like the board's about to come apart. It does have the handle. The handle is nice, but it's a little high, so you kind of have to lift it up with your arm. I'm about 5'10", so I can't just let it hang. I have to kind of pick it up. So it'd be nicer if it had them on the sides, like here or here, but I mean, it's better than nothing. I will give it that. The other problem with the carbon fiber is it scratches so easily. You just rub anything across it and you get a scratch. Bottom of this thing. One thing that's pretty cool about this board that none of my other boards have is, if you see right there is the on button. If you spin the wheel, it automatically turns on and you're ready to go. All you have to do is just turn on the remote, lay the board down, kick, turn on the remote, and you're off and going. But then to turn it off, you have to just push the button and hold it. Everything is watertight. I have ridden these in the rain, haven't had any problems. It seemed to work fine. I don't like about the board is that it doesn't have an interchangeable battery, which the Koowheel does, and I think that's a big bonus. Now, we have the remote. I think this is one of the coolest things about the remote is you have this screen. Right there is the remote. That's the battery charge. That's the board. That'll show when it's on. You have miles per hour, then you have top speed. Top speed is when say you're riding and then you come to a stop, you'll look and you'll see your top speed. But once you start going again, that top speed clears and it'll give you another top speed. So it'd be nice if it had an overall top speed. I have seen some guys on other YouTube channels just freaking about the flashlights. They're like, oh my God, it's got a flashlight. This flashlight doesn't do all that much. I've ridden at night with it and it doesn't light up anything. It's pretty weak. It does have USB charging. On the side is the high-low. So it'd be high and then low, and it'll actually say right there. So it says forward, low, and you can click it to high. If you want to go in reverse, you just push this button. Maybe the board has to be on. But it will go from forward to reverse, and all you have to do is just press this button and you'll hear it beep. The controller is smooth. It's not that bad, but this piece comes off all the time. I actually put a little drop of super glue on it, and it lasted for a while, but then it popped off the other day. So, remote's pretty cool, but I definitely say the Halo board is probably my least favorite out of my other boards. So here I got the Koowheel 2. It's not a bad board. It's, I'd say, totally comparable to the Halo board in speed, acceleration, and braking. I have to say the Halo actually handles and turns better than the Koowheel, but the Koowheel has better braking than the Halo board. Halo's braking is not that great. Neither one of these, the braking are all that great. It's there, but I wouldn't completely rely on it. So the wheels on the Halo, or on the Koowheel, are bigger than the Halo boards. Both of them have the dual hub motors inside the wheels. What's cool about this one is that the battery is interchangeable. So you can pop this pin out, and then you have to unscrew these. So what you can do is take the pin. If it's too tight and use that to break it loose. So once you unscrew these, then you got to get the battery out. And what I've had to do, because I can't grab this, I can't pull it out by hand. So what I had to do was take the end of the board and kind of bang it on the ground until I was able to get that battery out. And then it popped out, but then it, you know, put a mark on the end of my board. But, I mean, whatever, it's gonna be used, so not that big of a deal. This one doesn't turn on when you spin the wheels like the Halo. You have your power button here. And then hold it down for a couple seconds to shut it off. Charging port is right there. So it's kind of dirty because I have been riding these a lot. And this one, the board is actually wood, so it has some flex in it. And I actually like that. It's a much softer ride than the Halo board. So that's what I like the best about this. It's a lot smoother ride. So we can go to the remote now. The remote's kind of weird. It's definitely a very unique remote. You have the controller, front, forward, stop, and then you have the switch for forward and reverse on the side. To turn it on, you have to hit it 3 times in a row. So there it's on. And then if you want to unlock it into high speed, you hit it 5 times in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it does that, and now it's in high speed, which you can definitely tell a big difference between the two. And then turn it off, it's 1, 2, 3, and that shuts it off. The lights indicate the battery life. I still don't really understand that. It will start randomly vibrating. It doesn't beep, it vibrates. And I know that when the battery's getting really low, this thing will just keep vibrating. But it'll vibrate at random times. I'm not sure why. I should probably look into that a little bit more. It had a little cover on here, and that actually came off the first time I used it. So when I opened this thing up, that thing just fell right off. So I haven't really worried too much about it. But I'd say definitely the second favorite, the one that my buddies are going to ride when we go out riding. So it's not, I mean, if you're looking for a middle of the road board, I would definitely go with this Koowheel. It's a pretty good board. And when I bought it, I got it on eBay, and I paid the extra $100, and the extra $100 gave me an extra battery pack, which was nice, and this carrying bag, which is also pretty nice. And then they gave me this wire, and I was like, what is this for? And then I realized it is to charge this battery, so you don't have to have it in the board when you're charging it. So overall, not a bad setup. I'm glad I bought it. I think it's a great board. So let's get on to the Qu4tro. So here we have the Qu4tro. This is definitely my favorite board. This board is badass. When you turn it on, whole thing lights up. This is white. When I was looking into it, I wasn't sure if you could get it to change different colors through the app, because this thing will connect to your phone through Bluetooth. And when you connect to it, what you can do is see what the overall mileage is on the board, you know, how long or how many miles you've ridden it and the time you've had it. You can switch it from like low, high, and expert, which expert is pretty nuts. And then you can also switch the lights on and off, and that's it through the app. But you have to connect to the board, so when you go to it, you open the app, and then it wants you to like log into Facebook or something like that, or it has another bottom button that just has you skip, which I don't know why you would ever need to log into Facebook to ride your board, but whatever. It does have suspension. It's like little leaf spring shocks, and they actually do make a pretty big difference. I think it's about as smooth of a ride as the Koowheel is. And those are front and back. This one is four-wheel drive. This thing is nuts going up a hill. It takes hills like it's nothing. I was at a skate park and there was a pretty steep incline up a little ramp, and I was able to go from a dead stop up that ramp with no problem. So this is by far my favorite board. It's fast, it's torquey, you'll be doing 15, 20 miles an hour, and you roll on the throttle and it'll almost throw you off. It has in expert mode, and that's a lot. So flip this thing over. So this does have forward and reverse on the remote. This is going to be your directional, so that'll tell you need to watch for that, because that'll tell you which way it's going to go, and you got to make sure that you have it in forward, because this thing will throw you off. And forward will always have the headlights pointing, the white lights in the front and the red in the rear. So let's get on to the remote. This remote is pretty lame. I think for such a badass board, they could have done a much better job with the remote. I mean, when you're riding this thing, you roll on, there'll be nothing. Through here, there's nothing there. Then you go to there, and then all of a sudden it kicks. So it's pretty sudden. So you have to be very, very gentle with this thing when you're rolling on. So that's all the way there. So there's really nothing in there, and then there's full power. So there's yeah, I don't really care for that. And then you have your forward reverse switch. You're on, and this thing takes AA batteries, which I have no idea why they did that. All the other ones are rechargeable. For such a badass board, why would you make such a crappy remote? So, in conclusion, if you're gonna buy any of these, if you don't have the money for this, because this board is very expensive, go with the Koowheel. Halo board, if you want something really pretty to show off and you're gonna be riding on smooth pavement all the time, yeah, Halo board won't be that bad. Koowheel's much more practical, and if you just wanna ride the Back to the Future pit bull, this would definitely be the board. All right, thank you for listening to me talk